ran high for you, Cole. Go outside.
Yeah, I just got
You're 18, you're still bouncing around now.
Yo, Stefan, you're fixing to get wrecked, dude. You've almost wiped me out 3 times, man.
Shut up, virgin.
Had to go.
There you go. Don't come down, don't come down. Wait, was that you?
Yeah, I spun out.
Oh no.
You're doing good. Fine.
Did I really battle my way all the way up to 7th in like 3 laps?
I mean, it's Gateway, so it's doable. You've always
I went from dead last to 7th in like 3 laps.
Or you were just pretending like nobody was there the whole time, and I don't know what to tell you.
I know the guys didn't need to stay out, but man, that really screwed us back here, though.
Yeah,
I'm honestly not going to serve my penalty. My race is fucked, so.
The people who didn't fucking pit completely fucked everybody over.
I don't blame you.
Is that what happened? Because I went so.
Well, no, not
quick
you
on the
because
track.
you pitted, but the fucking people who didn't pit completely fucked everybody else over.
Oh.
Yeah, you brought me up. Nice to keep you safe.
It's like getting on the Baltimore City Metro. It's like, should I get on there or should I not?
Because I have a black flag that I am not serving, so I'm not going to be scored at the end of this race.
Yeah, 14, you're making a lot of shit out of absolutely nothing because we were all okay, but you're just crying because you're pretending like cars aren't there when they are.
Yeah, your headset wasn't coming through, Chris. Like we hear you through Discord, just in the game chat, you were just complete static there. Who's messaging me? Are you guys needing people? Why do people ask for a job halfway through the work season? Like, I feel like messaging the guy back, be like, dude, I'm going to the army in like 2 weeks. Like,
I don't understand why I don't understand why my shit spun out. It makes no sense. I'm watching the replay right now. Like I went into the corner.
What happened to you during your last race?
Yeah, last race was already ridiculous.
Chin up, man. You got this, Cole. You know you're fast, and just people are bumping.
I love how I can hear the voice chat through your guys' speakers. It's awesome. It's very immersive.
Pickup filled up. You ready to rock and roll here, man?
you guys all around me are like in a race mode, and I'm just like sitting here at lap 34, 40 with a black flag. Like, I don't give a fuck. I had a really good restart. And there it is. I got DQ'd. And I was booted. All because I didn't know how to pit.
Well, yeah, Gateway you gotta enter on the backstretch, right?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It's like Homestead.
I'm doing it.
God damn it. I had an 8x that race and I had no damage. Augie, remember how we were talking about that? Where it's like you can get penalized for nothing?
Actually, what the
8x, no damage.
I don't know who that was, but I'm actually glad that you cost him positions. All he does is cry.
I cost someone positions? Or are you talking to someone else? Oh, fuck. Too bad that race is way too late from now. Oh, you're out of the race too?
Yeah.
You guys all wrecked out, or?
I got DQ'd.
Yeah, I wrecked out. I don't know what happened. I just went into the corner and it fucking just spun out.
I got DQ'd for not serving my black flag. I was sitting in 6th. And then the game was like, goodbye. And I had an 8x with no damages. It was beautiful. Because that's how safety rating should work.
Well, part of it is the way they label it. Like, if it's like a sportsmanship rating or like an all-encompassing, like... The problem is they call it safety, I think.
There was a double wreck that included the 18. Actually, both of them were the 18. Because he was skipping around and disappearing like crazy. Me just driving by both wrecks, it gave me a 4x on both of them.
It's... Yeah, it's... There's stuff I really don't like about their safety system. Let's put it that way. It's like if you tag someone, you know, and then like they go on and like 5 seconds later tag the wall and then spin out. It's like you really didn't cause the wreck, but like the way the system's written is that it's your fault still.
Yeah, well, it's because it's, in quotes, no fault safety rating. Right?
It really should just be like if your car experiences a G-load from like a big accident, then that's on you. Not just like, oh, you touched someone, but then 3 seconds later they spun out. Like, because then you get all these weird like fringe cases, you know.
Oh, both my cases weren't even touching anyone. Not even touching a single soul. Just driving by
or like
a wreck.
the net code takes over.
Yeah, it's like because the dude is like he has netcode issues and he's skipping and dancing around the track.
Yeah, agreed.
The game is just like you touched him, but it's like I actually missed him by 7.
It really should be like based on G-load and contact, and like if it's only over a certain G-load, so that way you can like actually race people kind of hard.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, if someone is a wanker about it and was like dooring you repeatedly, you just file a protest and be like, look, this dude hit me 10 times on the straightaway, like he's an asshole.
Yeah.
guess I should try doing this race. It's already a third of the way over.
I mean, one thing I don't fucking understand either, it's like, okay, like, I understand, like, what their point is, I guess you could say, with, for instance, alright, if you drive full speed into a wreck, like, okay, yeah, you should probably get some incident points for not fucking paying attention, but, like, the fact that they still can't figure out a way to say, like, you're full stomp on the brakes, everybody wrecked in front of you, why are you getting penalized for that wreck?
Yeah, stupid.
It's just, it's hard because, like, no matter what system you come up with, there's going to be weird edge cases that don't work. I've been talking about that a lot at work these last week or so. How did you catch up that quick?
Yeah, it's hard to make a perfect system. Like, it's really aiming for perfection shouldn't be a thing. Just aim to do slightly better than iRacing.
I've liked how Henrique did it with SRS, where it was pretty much just like, hey, okay, I was not clear. It's just kind of like, hey, like, you hit someone beyond XG load, that's considered big contact. None of this, like, oh, you tapped someone, and then they went on to do this. Like, it's lame.
Well, I guess that's just, like, kind of it, right? Where, like, I think their system just can't do a lot of things. And it's probably engine-related at this point.
I don't think it's engine, it's just it seems like the safety rating was written for road racing. And it doesn't really account for, like, the crazy shit that happens on ovals, you know? Because their safety rating system absolutely works for, like, the pretty one-dimensional issues that occur on road racing tracks. It's just like when you're at...
Especially open wheel, you shouldn't touch cars in open wheel.
It pretty much doesn't account for, like, stock car racing, how everyone's crammed in like sardines and just, like, shit just happens, and it's, like, not your fault at all. Whereas road racing, like, 9 out of 10 times you can watch a wreck and be like, this is why this happened.
Right.
It doesn't account for, like, oops, guy got loose and then collected 5 cars. But in road racing it works because you know, when that happens, you know, guy gets loose, spins off the track. You know, it's not really a big deal. And they also didn't really account for how hard people would race each other either, I don't think. You know, like, when you really think of how big iRacing was back in 03 and 04 when they were, like, first crafting all this stuff, it was, you know, John Henry's, like, essentially club of private sim racers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And these guys are not racing each other the way, like, esports kids and, like, us are going to, you know?
Yeah.
Just the nature of the beast, really. It's interesting. Think about a lot of that stuff at work. Like, people race each other so hard on ovals, both in real life and in iRacing, that, like, the iRacing safety rating just, like, doesn't account for, like, what really happens in those kind of moments.
Oh yeah, just door banging down a straight and shit, especially in the final 5 laps. Like, that's racing.
Yeah, it was really written for, like, you know, basically a private NR03 community, it looks like. Where, like, it's 20 guys max in a field and, like, everyone kind of gives and takes, not the kind of insanity that we see now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tyler, you cannot touch the throttle in the Gen 4 car.
Oh yeah, that was. Well, I did that race like last year. That's when I ran out of fuel because the fucking autofill miscalculated.
Oh. Oh, it's like certain death when you exit the corner now?
Yep.
I'm testing in a race session as a ghost car, and it is treacherous.
Ooh.
Kind of not surprised, really.
The race doesn't kick off for another hour and a half anyway. I won't be running it.
This is psycho.
I was quite shocked with how clean that race went.
Holy Christ, this is psycho.
That's a shame because that car should just be awesome. Oh, holy
I think
fuck.
they put the ARCA car tires on that car because it is the ARCA car and just threw a bigger motor in it.
What I think is really crazy is Dale Jr., like, for how long he's been around the sim racing scene. You know, he was a big proponent of NR03 because he's like, okay, the way the truck handles in this game is perfect. Do not fuck with this. And proceeded to get all of his friends to play NR03 with him in, like, a private online league. For years and years and years, because he's like, this is just what our car handles like, so it's just a way to keep racing during the week and keep your skills up. And, like, everyone who got into that DMP group with him is either like a multi-time weight race winner or a cup champion. Basically by pointing at NR03 and be like, hey, go install the truck mod. It has the aero balance a little better, like compared to our real cars. Go fuck with this. You'll just turn into a driving god. And literally everyone he recruited into that league that was already in the NASCAR like ladder system just became a champion in some fashion, whether it be Truex in the Busch Series or Keselowski in Cobb, or I think Hamlin won a Busch championship. I have to go check.
Someone should straight up do a documentary on that.
So all iRacing really has to do is look at what they did for the truck physics 20 years ago and be like, okay, I guess that's what the Gen 4 car handles like, because the sport's most popular driver and literally all of his friends who he recruited through different levels of racing swear by it. And somehow they came up with something that handles nothing like NR03. You can't build momentum. The car's a death trap. The car feels like the shocks are broken. And they just like push it on the users. It's just disappointing. Like, you had the reference material, homie. It's just odd. Really odd to me.
Actually, this might not be bad. I mean, you gotta really work the throttle, which is cool.
Like, just feather it and just settle the nose.
You can just basically run the wall or run the bottom. The middle is just no man's land.
But it really shouldn't be no man's land. Like, they used to drive those things for fucking 500 miles most weekends, you know? You didn't really see people dying in them. Other than the obvious, but...
Well, I can tell you right now, if you showed up to Atlanta and your crew chief gave you a setup like this where it feels like there's no left front shock and it just collapses as soon as you touch the throttle in the middle of the corner, you'd probably like, fix this because I'm not driving this.
Yeah, you tried to kill me in Friday practice. That's not cool.
Yeah, because this just feels like the left front shock just gives up when you touch the throttle. and it's not fucking standing up to keep the car balanced. I mean,
And then when it rebounds, it's like instant, so the car just feels like it snaps.
yeah. Like, I should not be spinning out on the straightaway. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. Like, I almost just died in the dog
Well, it's not the straightaway, it's just like when you come off the corner, it's like the rebound is just binary.
No, I was in the middle of the dog leg, and I almost spun out.
Oh, yeah, that's not right.
Yeah.
We had Ricky Craven and Joe Nemechek winning races in those cars.
Yeah.
At, like, the twilight of their career, and we're saying that, yeah, even the best sim racers are, like, white-knuckling it around the track. From the comfort of their own home in their undies. They can barely get around the track. But Joe Nemechek won a race at Kansas in that thing.
Like, I understand if you're trying to make it feel treacherous because it's got 900 horsepower, but, like, at a certain point, the thing shouldn't be spinning out in the tri-oval and you think it's okay.
Well, you gotta, like, when you watch qualifying footage from, like, the 04 Cracker Barrel 500, it is like, those guys are psycho. But it doesn't look like the cars are unsteady by any means.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, he held it wide open, holy shit, kind of deal.
It was just... Yeah,
like,
it was just a big set of
you could tell when somebody was gonna get the pole, because you saw on their little Fox tracker thing that, like, oh my god, motherfucker literally did not lift. He's gonna be on the pole.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
And it was a matter of, like, wow, that's kind of impressive they got the setup right for qualifying.
Like, holy shit, how did Buddy do that?
This is, you're running around in race pace and being like, I'm gonna die.
How did Buddy do that? Like, think about guys like, think about guys like Dale Jr. or Tony Stewart who would not have any complaints when it came to if they needed to bitch about the way their car was handling. They would just straight up say it when they were interviewed on Friday. Like, yeah, car's driving like shit. You know? Like, could you imagine if they were given by their crew chiefs the iRacing car?
Well, just look at, like, the mid-pack guys who won races. Like, Elliott Sadler won a Bristol race, you know?
Yeah.
And a Texas race. You know, like, journeyman drivers, you know, if the fucking setup was on it that day and they had the balance right, it was done, you know?
Because, like, essentially they were fucking just straight up race cars. Like, you know, they were probably, you know, like, think of it this way, it's like, how would I say this best? Like, they were probably closer to what a super late model is today, just with 900 horsepower and a little more front downforce, right? Like, probably planted to the fucking ground in many cases. Because they were making a fucking ton of downforce with those big fenders.
Not only that, but just, like, the sensation of driving a race car in real life. Like, the car always has, like, this amazing sense of weight to it. Like, it should not just be randomly unloading on a straightaway.
Actually, maybe the middle groove is the correct groove. I can't tell.
Just feels like you're on a knife's edge all the time.
Yeah. Actually, you know what I started doing? Do you remember the way the truck felt on the old tire model, Austin?
In fact, I was like 17.
Yeah. The truck on the old tire model, you literally just would keep 50% throttle in it all the time to keep the diff spooled up.
Why does it sound
That's
so
what
like a dirt car?
That's what I just started doing. And I feel like I'm going fast now.
Holy balls.
Actually, it also probably helped a little bit that I put the Atlanta setup in it, because apparently when you join a spectator session, you don't get the fixed setup immediately. You have to load it. I mean, it feels about the same, though, I'm not gonna lie. It's fucking a little bit less snappy on the straightaway with the right setup in it, but its cornering is about the same. Actually, Tyler, there's a chance you and I could probably tear up in this because now I have the right setup in it. You don't spin out on the straightaway with the right setup.
Okay, that sounds better.
Yeah.
Or you just got
I mean,
tires, but
it's still
should be doing
fucking
that.
yeah, it's still fucking edgy, but I think we'll be better off than probably most.
Yeah. Too bad the race doesn't kick off till super fucking late.
Yeah, I don't think I'm doing 245 race for this. I could be honest with you.
I'm not.
Yeah.
It's too late.
But I'll definitely run it tomorrow for sure. 12:45. All right, this feels a little bit closer to what I would expect. And you're probably going to have to keep those right side tires happy the whole run. Because iRacing.
Yeah, to me, it's like the tires in that are too fragile.
You know what I think my biggest complaint with iRacing is when I sit here and think about it all together? So what I don't think iRacing does, and I haven't been in a real race car, but like, I will take an example from my street car. So, I have a fucking heavy front end on my Golf R. It corners very hard. Like, I could corner very hard. But I can tell you right now, when the front end starts to get to its limits, I feel the front tires skip, or like, you know, you feel the sensation through the steering wheel of the front tires kind of giving up the ghost. iRacing, in an ass-backwards way, you can always tell when you're going to get loose, but you can never fucking ever get a good feel on when the right front tire is going to fucking give up the ghost on you on an oval car.
Yeah. You'll be going fine, and all of a sudden, boom, it's gone.
Yeah, it's like you'll be driving and it's like, why the fuck did I hit the wall with the right front there? That made no sense, kind of deal.
So is that like an FOV thing? No.
I don't think it's an FOV thing. I think it's just a feel thing.
No force feedback.
Oh, no, dude, I'm on a direct drive fucking wheel. Like, it doesn't give me any fucking... No matter what, it's been G27s, I've had fucking belt-driven Fanatic wheels, and now I got the fucking mid-level CSL direct drive wheel. It's like you never get a sensation when the right front tire is going to give it up. You sure as shit know when you're going to get loose. Whether it tells you in an ass-backwards way or not, that's up to, you know, that's a fucking debate. But it's like the sensation of the right front tire losing grip, it's just never been there on iRacing. I mean, like, I guess what I should say is we've trained ourselves to know when the car is going to get loose on iRacing just for years of doing it.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have to be like that.
Yeah. Well, that's a separate debatable topic, and I agree it shouldn't have to be like that. But if you just keep it in the me talking about the right front tire thing, there's never been a fucking way to tell when the right front tire is cooked or doesn't have enough grip. It's just like, yeah, it's like sometimes you could feel the car stop turning, but like you never get an indication as to why you got to that point.
And it seems like when you follow people around the track and like follow their lines and what appears to be their wheel input, it never really like matches. Like you can't just follow someone and be like, they're saving tires, I'm saving tires too. It's always just like, why are they just faster than me?
Yeah, and it gets into that is the other point. I don't know why some people seem like they're flying and still saving tires.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, there have been races, and I'm sure Tyler's been in fucking oval races too, where you feel like you're not doing anything, and somebody comes storming up from like 5 seconds behind you and passes you.
Yeah, and then you follow them and it's like, but I ran that line.
Yep. That literally just happened in the last race where I was in my own zone, and then all of a sudden I looked in my rearview mirror and a dude came storming up for like 5 laps straight, just coming like closer and closer and closer, and then he got to me, and then he was pucking in like on my inside and was like trying to force me out of the way, and then I drove him, like pinched him down, and he was still just quicker than me. It's like,
yeah,
this is a fucking
it's like
setup, bro.
It's like, wait, like you're scrubbing speed off your tires, like you're driving it in super deep and reducing your turning radius. Why is your right front not cooked? And it's like, you can be putting like no wheel input into it. And like power saving tires.
Well, that was kind of what was happening last race too. So remember when I told you that guy in the 11 truck is not good at all?
Yeah.
Tyler, he was spinning out and charging every corner behind me, and it took him until 2 laps before the yellow came out for his tires to be cooked, compared to me trying to mind my fucking P's and Q's the whole run. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And then when you try doing that, when you try running that driving style, it's like, oh, there go the tires in 3 laps.
Yeah, I would have been cooked by lap 10. I would have been fucking cooked by lap 10. But like, the guy actually like was really close to me to the point where I was like, am I not going fast enough? Like, I was trying to figure out, I was like, wait, I'm catching the guy in front of me, kinda. But I'm like, this guy's like up my ass, and I thought he was shit. And I'm watching him spin out every corner, and I'm watching him charge turn 1, like, way harder than I was. In fact, this is actually a really good fucking example. Remember I spun out and fucking wrecked like a dumbass?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the way that guy was driving into turn 1 on old tires. Just so you know.
That's gay.
Yeah, it's like you go in and you try and mirror like what other people are doing to be fast, and it just immediately doesn't work. You're like, but I ran their angle, their input, their line, their braking zone, and just like for whatever reason, it's not wearing their tires like it does to yours. And like sometimes you're the beneficiary of that. Like sometimes people try and follow what you're doing, and you just walk them.
Yep.
It's weird.
I've had races like that where all of a sudden you're pulling on the field and then you're in the lead by fucking like 10 seconds. It's like, what's going on
And
here?
you're just like, I don't really understand what I did and why that's working.
Yeah. And you just keep hitting your marks, doing the same thing, and you're like, I guess I win.
I'll say the other thing I'll say is too, I hate to fucking be this way and like be conspiracy tard, but I watched like the last 2 to 3 laps of the leaders, the guys that were leading the race the whole time, Tyler, and we were in probably second split. Those guys probably should have been in first split in all reality, but I'm like, I gotta be honest with you, I don't know how they were running that fast. And